Welcome everyone to the next edition of Neo Reality Entertainment Thoughts and what yada yada. Okay, I just wanted to do that for once. Anyway, so we're back with another video, and this time we're talking about the new episode series by DC Universe's very own Jeff Johns, because everyone loves Jeff Johns except for his Titan stuff. A lot of people are starting to hate the Titan show. Anyways, in fact, some people hated it initially because of the fuck Batman. And this is going to cover the first two episodes. I don't know if I'll be covering the rest of the season or I'll just do a retrospective of the entire season afterwards. But I wanted to talk about these two episodes upon watching them. And like I did with The Mandalorian, I had hoped to do the Mandalorian episode week by week, but then at the time everything got so busy and complicated that I couldn't do it. So I've decided to rewatch The Mandalorian and then do the whole season in one video later down the road. But that's going to come at a later date. And one of the other things is, well, all this is going on, and now we're going to see the Stargirl being created by the DC Universe's very own Jeff Johns. And Stargirl, Courtney Whitemore, as she's known, is a very interesting character for Jeff Johns. It's more personal for him because of what she represents. So, she made her first appearance in a show in a book called Stars and Stripes in July 1999 as part of a series called Stargirl. Like, originally she was supposed to be originally she showed up as Courtney Whitemore and showed up as she was originally the second Star Spangled Kid before going with the name Stargirl after being presented by the Cosmic Staff by Jack Knight in the old DC continuity before the reboot. And Jeff Johns always has a personal connection with Stargirl's character because the character's inspiration was Jeff Johns' sister Courtney, who tragically passed away in an explosion on TWA Flight 800 in 1996. 3 years later, Jeff Johns wanted to honor her and make the character Stargirl, aka Courtney Whitemore. And yeah, like he even said, like the name, appearance, and personality were patterned off of his sister who passed away all those years ago. So it's hard to really come up with proper critique that doesn't make people think I'm being an asshole of the show. Like, yeah, every character has their moments of bad writing and everything, but moving on from that. So Stargirl was a show that was announced for DC Universe, and originally was supposed to be in the DC Universe app and everything, the streaming service. And then CW wanted to get involved, and then they had her show up way before that. They had already filmed a bunch of stuff. The first season was already finished production, and CW wanted a ton of people for the Crisis on Infinite Earths event. Now, I heard she was going to show up in this, and I was thinking, like, is this going to be like a cameo appearance, or is this going to be like a full-fledged role involvement, which would have been cool. But no, this was just a glimpse of what's going on her Earth, because now it's established that this is part of the Arrowverse multiverse. I'm just going to call it the DC multiverse of live action stuff. I really wish they found a way to incorporate the animation stuff, but what can you do? So, yeah, this show, first two episodes, is Stargirl and Stripe, and we get a lot about the character going on of her life, about how she's being uprooted from her seemingly perfect life in Los Angeles, LA, and moved to Blue Valley, Nebraska with her mother Barbara. No relation to Barbara from Gotham, or Barbara Gordon from the Batman universe. Because of the stepfather, Pat Duggan, and stepbrother, Mike. And as you know, this is clearly meaning that this is going to be the stepdaughter doesn't like her new father and doesn't want to acknowledge him, and then afterwards there's going to be an event that has to make them bond, and yada yada yada. But the thing that surprised me what they did was, hey, let's kill off the entire Justice Society in the first several minutes. What? So yeah, the Justice Society, they are all killed by the Injustice Society, because of course. And I was like, what? We're really killing them off? And yeah, there was a lot of stuff people were wondering, like, why was the Justice Society just killed off? Like, that was the thing about the Justice Society. Like, certain characters were killed off, or they just grew older. But I was thinking when I heard this, when I saw this, I was like, so besides the one guy who operates the Stripe robot, I'm thinking, how how do you tell this tale? Well, because the Justice Society is about legacy and everything, and now there's going to be a new Justice Society that takes their place. But yeah. So I had I had looked into the production of this stuff on the Wikipedia article about it, and one of the things that was mentioned is that, yeah, John said that added the season would establish the Seven Soldiers of Victory as the first superhero team before the GSA. Okay, that's an interesting interpretation. And explore the history of the cosmic stuff. And I was like, okay, so we're really doing this. We're not gonna have the Justice Society. In fact, this is the thing that confused me. Where the hell is Jay Garrick and Alan Scott? Like, where are they? So I went and looked around to know what was the deal regarding why this wasn't going to be happening, and then I had looked up on the Wikipedia stuff, and it can be edited at any time. Speaking to the classic JSA members such as Alan Scott and Jay Garrick, Johns called them the elderly statesmen, and that they are spoken of and they exist in the JSA with their legacies felt throughout the show. And there were also plans for in the future for things. So yeah, the JSA did have an Alan Scott and Jay Garrick. We just don't know what happened to them. Like, are they retired? They're retired clearly, but are they still alive? Are they not? And yeah, so yeah, Jeff Johns has a more personal involvement with this. Has a more personal connection for this story because this is the story I get the feeling he always wanted to tell here with Courtney Whitemore's character Stargirl. But yeah, I had looked at the cast members of this and I was like, wait, Artemis Croc is on this from the DC Young Justice show? Okay, that's kind of awesome. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not the same Artemis that we all grew to love, but still a character that of the series. So yeah, it turns out that the characters Artemis, Sportsmaster, and Tigress, aka Paula Brooks, aka the original Huntress in the Young Justice cartoon, is Tigress. Paula is Tigress in this universe, and Sportsmaster is still Sportsmaster, and they're both villains. I don't know if Artemis knows that or if she's involved with it, but her parents are part of the Injustice Society of America. Injustice Society, and I'm just like, wow. So, in this Earth, which has been established in the Crisis show as the new Earth 2, I'm left wondering to myself, so if the Seven Soldiers of Victory did happen, like, who was in it? I'm curious to know if they build up to that, explaining who the Seven Soldiers were in this revised continuity of the Earth 2 era. So I was looking into this thing. So Solomon Grundy is in this. It was hard. I couldn't tell if this was the same Solomon Grundy that we know, but yeah. So yeah, I really don't know the full details on that yet. We'll see how the show goes, but yeah, this focuses more on establishing the origin of Courtney Whitmore her eventual becoming of a superhero Stargirl and finding the cosmic staff and all that. And I have seen these episodes, the first two episodes. Okay, I get that the DC Universe streaming service doesn't have the biggest budget in the world, so I was gonna like be liberalist over the effects. Like I was gonna say, okay, like I know the effects aren't gonna be the perfect ones because, well, these effects aren't really given the big budgets of, say, Wonder Woman and all that. But they did mention in production that let's see, where can I find it? The visual effects. So yeah, this is gonna be so Zoic Studios provides visual effects for the series, and according to Jeff Johns, Stargirl was the first Warner Bros. Television series to utilize pre-visualization, a process most commonly utilized by feature films for their effects scenes. Pre-visualization was handled by the Third Floor Incorporated. Johns brought his experience working on films such as Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam to help the series have visuals not seen in superheroes before, which, okay, I was like, okay, well, I don't buy that. So I looked into who was the people that worked with the Third Floor, what they worked on Third Floor, and I found out that this company did a lot of crazy stuff, like they did Terminator: Dark Fate. But okay, let's get to an actual good films that people love more. Venom, mixed reception by fans there. Infinity War. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Last Jedi. We don't want to start toxic fire. Thor Ragnarok. I love that. Game of Thrones. Really enjoyed that show. I haven't seen the last season, but I have heard the horrible reception it got. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Liked it. Beauty and the Beast. Horribly unnecessary. Wonder Woman. Yeah. Black Sails. Didn't watch it. The Jungle Book. Kept hearing good things. Mad Max Fury Road. That's a big bonus. Also, they've worked on my favorite Disney era Star Wars film, Rogue One. And they've also worked on Lords of the Fallen, Resident Evil 6, Doom, Gears of War 4, and Destiny 2. So, points there. And they had won a lot of awards for this. And they had all worked, it was founded by the group of artists that had worked together on Revenge of the Sith. So, clearly, they are from a good place. So, when I saw this stuff, I was confident, like, okay, like, these guys are pretty good stuff, and they have worked on some well-known films, and some good, some bad, so, and they worked on Infinity War, so that's gotta be something, and they worked on Revenge of the Sith, one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I was born during the prequel era, sue me. So, yeah, so there were a lot of stuff here that was, so, like, I'm watching the DC Universe stuff. I looked up. It turns out that, yeah, scenes removed from the first episode from the CW broadcast include establishing shots of Barbara's new job, Pat's auto shop, an interaction between Courtney and Cindy in the halls of Blue Valley High School that Alex Zalman of Decider said was clear setup for later, but helped strengthen Courtney's emotional arc. And Mark Ashworth seen as a mysterious, extremely creepy bearded janitor, which Zalman said was more of a fun Easter egg that will pay dividends down the road. And Courtney finding a newspaper article about Starman and Stripesty. So yeah, I had watched the two episodes. I thought they were a good starting point for the origin story of Courtney Whitmore in this universe of DC Earth 2. The thing I am a little worried about is, since all the DC CW shows merged into one Earth at the end of Crisis, I was thinking, like, so is it still possible they're gonna cross over? Because then I don't watch the CW stuff, so yeah, I'll probably be heavily lost if they do cross over with Stargirl, and then I'm left, like, wondering, like, well, what do we do here? So yeah, I did do research and whatnot, but yeah, this is where I got a little concerned. Regarding any proper crossovers with the Arrowverse, Johns and someone else were keen on the idea. In April of 2020, John said, "Right now, the main concern is making sure the show is great, that these characters are great, and that they have their own stories and they get the proper screen time and the proper episodes to develop on their own. So hopefully in the future we could do something fun. But the first season is about making sure that Stargirl is the best show it could possibly be." And added that there already been preliminary discussions about crossing over with the Flash, and she was hopeful that, and someone was hopeful they were able to cross over with Melissa's, um, Melissa Benoist, on Supergirl, and let's see, she's Supergirl, and that would be kind of fun to see. But like I said, I don't watch the CW shows, so this could be problematic for me. Since I am kind of a and so the main stuff going on in this is the Injustice Society is back up to no good. The Justice Society's gone, and now they're trying to reform. Courtney's probably trying to figure out who her father was, and now she thinks it's the original Starman. When I was doing my research over who the character was, I don't recall that ever being mentioned. Like, from what I was, I was trying to get my research correct on this, but yeah, I'm trying to keep track of everything regarding who exactly her father was, but yeah, they probably could do that if they want. But she has showed up in several other shows, like in so Stargirl has showed up in several shows. I know this video is all over the place. I'm trying to get my bearings straight with this, but yeah. The one thing I didn't like was when Stargirl was on Young Justice Outsiders, and she's not really a superhero. She's a Good World Studio news show host. What? So, yeah, that's just a minor nitpick. Anyways, so the episodes, they were pretty good in my opinion. I enjoyed them for the most part. I'm sorry if this thing got really out of control. I'm trying to make the best I possibly can, since I don't want to go and recap the whole episode like I've done with movies, because then it will feel like I'm just saying stuff and not really talking about my thoughts and everything relating to this stuff. But yeah, DC Universe has, from what I've been hearing, a pretty good run with Stargirl, and they're having positive reviews. And I like the actress. I like the actress who plays her. She's pretty good. But I did also read that she didn't want to not look at the portrayals in Smallville or Legends of Tomorrow, where Stargirl was in, because they depicted her as older and more mature versions of her. And she added that the series followed the comic Stars and Stripe more in the she's young, high school, naive, and she wanted to bring that version of her to life into the Stargirl show. So they're clearly following Jeff Johns' formula of doing the whole Stargirl stuff, because that's his story and he has a more personal connection with it. So to see that they're going to do this with the route is pretty interesting. And they do establish that, and I have seen some of the episode titles, like they're clearly going to have episodes that involve building up the Justice Society's return as a new group, and they're going to have a new set of episodes focusing on Shiv. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. Shiv, the daughter of the immortal Dragon King, and she's a nemesis of Stargirl, so we know where that's going. Unless they want to spin the story around and have Shiv instead be a good character, not the typical villainous. Like, that would be an interesting route. Like, her beef is with those who killed the Justice Society. But if they went with the route that that Shiv is not the bad guy this time around. Okay, should I say bad girl or bad guy? Who cares? Let me see extra details on that. I'm trying to double check on everything so I get this right. So let's see. No details here yet, but nope, no details yet on the actress and the character who's going to be portrayed in this. One more thing. One more thing. I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, Stargirl's character is also not the show, but the character is also set to appear in Black Adam in the DCEU, so that's gonna be interesting. I'll talk about the DCU in more detail later down the road about how I would have done it. This is basically a build up for it. But yeah, those were my ultimate thoughts regarding that. But yeah, like I said, I'm curious to know where the show goes. I may make a retrospective video afterwards talking about the whole season after these first two episodes. I'm sorry if I went all over the place with everything. I just wanted to. I'm just speaking incoherent nonsense. But I am liking how this is like how this is like not like the Justice Society that Jeff Johns wrote, where the older members teach the newer members and establish legacy as their main theme. Instead, it's kind of like that, but instead, it's not going to have the entire guidance of them unless they do bring in, you know, star. Sorry. That bring in, you know, Jay Garrick and Alan Scott in this, because they don't establish if they're dead or not at this time. Their legacy is going to be said to be felt throughout all this, so we'll see how that goes. And also, I just love how the villains kind of assume, oh, okay, she has the cosmic. This person has the cosmic staff. They went after my son, and there's no cosmic way that this could be a coincidence. It's clearly a revenge scheme. And I was thinking, okay, couldn't someone have pointed out that, you know, you do realize the heroes don't do that, right? The superheroes don't do that. We go after their families, not them. Like, if they did that, that would be kind of contradictory of what a hero is. So probably this was just a complete misunderstanding done by the hands of fate. But they are after the cosmic staff, so pretty much this was a bonus so they can find an excuse. But yeah, but if they do the route with Courtney being related to the previous Starman, okay, like they have given the suggestion that is the case. I kind of want that, but at the same time, I was like, couldn't we not have that? Like that's the thing I hate about Rise of Skywalker. I'll probably talk about that when the 800th one comes out, depending on which one I select. I probably might do a poll on that, but yeah, so I'm left wondering this. So if they do this route instead of doing a surprise route, yeah, I'm curious to know where they go with this. And it was also mentioned that Johnny Thunder, Hawkman, and Hoggo were all killed by Brainwave during this battle. No idea about the others, but still. But it's going to be interesting where this go from here, and I'm really liking what they're going to do with this. But right now, I'm just glad they're focusing more on making it its own set of stuff instead of crossing over or bleeding into the DC Arrowverse stuff. So yeah, and yeah, a lot of people have complained that the Arrowverse stuff has dwindled down a bit, and some got unnecessarily dark at times. But yeah, it's nice to know we're getting more colorful stuff going on. Like, okay, come on, this is come on, high school nonsense. That's annoying, but at least like they're trying to be bright and colorful. It's gloomy and dark. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have their dark moments, but you know, that's the way of life. So yeah, those are my very, 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 very loosely coherent thoughts on Stargirl by Jeff Johns and DC Universe team, episodes 1 and 2. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you all next time.